Hello, my name's Nunny, and you're watching Underground Heroes.
Hey Nunny, thank you so much for having me on the Underground Heroes series. I really have been enjoying watching it and learning so much about my friends on the indie community. So for those who don't know me, my name is OrangeG. I am a one-person DIY artist, multi-instrumentalist living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America.
How long have you been making music, and what got you started?
So I've been playing music for most of my life. I got my first guitar when I was 10, and the story goes that my dad noticed that I was really into music, that I really enjoyed seeing people play music, and he decided I needed a guitar and that I needed to take guitar lessons. So I can't thank him enough for giving me the gift of being able to make music. I picked up the harmonica in high school, actually from my guitar teacher's band. I really got an education in blues by hanging out with them. Their harmonica player gave me some tips on how to play it, and I really took to the instrument. I got pretty good in high school at playing harmonica. Never really joined a band though, and what really kind of changed it for me was just like maybe 5 years ago. I got one of these nifty holders, and I realized that I could accompany myself, singing and playing guitar at the same time. It wasn't too big of a leap to sing, play guitar at the same time as playing harmonica as well. I've been writing music for maybe 15 years. It really coincides with when I first got my Macintosh computer. I was blown away by GarageBand, such a powerful program to record music on your own. A couple of years ago, I really built up the confidence to start going to open mics and performing my music and kind of getting over my inherent social anxiety and stage fright.
What's your latest release called? Tell us a little something about the track.
So my latest release is a song called Orion's Arrow. It came out in January. And I wrote this song about time and judgment, about how time and judgment feature prominently in our hunt for fulfillment in our lives. The message for the song really is that you only have one life to live, and it's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your time to try and reach the goals you set out for yourself in life. And that, worrying about the judgment of others is something that should be secondary. So I hope that the message of the song really resonates with people. I feel like it's gotten a pretty nice reception. I've been very pleased with how people have responded to it. I wrote it as a ukulele song, and in the studio it really expanded. I added synth elements, a bass, a kick drum, harmonica, trumpets. My friend John Mischke added piano and organs and helped me mix and master it. Check it out. Take a look.
Who's the last artist you just listened to?
So I've been listening to a lot of music in the indie community that I've met on Twitter. It's really a wonderful experience to be able to listen to music that's been made by people you know, and to interact with each other, support each other, geek out about the music with each other. There's too many acts to name. Just a few that I've been listening to a lot would include Gozer Goodspeed, H.D. Bradley, The Jobs, Lost Griefog, Lee Thomas, just to name a few, Kelly Fleming. But the album that I've listened to most recently was a new album that was released by my friend John Mischke, High Vibrations. It is a gorgeous album. I highly recommend that you listen to it. Listen to it with headphones on. I love his songwriting. I love the soundscapes that he produces.
Can you tell me an interesting fact about you? Something that we probably wouldn't know.
So one thing you might not know about me is that I am a scientist during my day job. And this actually affects my music quite a bit. Concepts from my work in biology make it into my songs every once in a while. But there are also really interesting parallels between science and art. Artists and scientists often work for years without any recognition. Sometimes it's posthumous that you get any recognition in either field. There's a lot of uncertainty in your future as a scientist. And just like in art, you have to work really hard to just kind of get by. My moniker is actually derived from my work as a scientist. OrangeG is a dye we use when looking at DNA fragments.
What are your plans musically for 2021?
Well, first off is world domination. Hopefully we'll get there with a little help from my friends. I'm hoping to release an album by the end of the year. Certainly throughout the year, I'm going to be doing live streams, open mics throughout. Those are just a really rewarding experience for me to share my music and work on my performances. I'd like to, as the pandemic lifts in 2022, do some live gigs, and that I think is going to just be a dream for me to start playing live in person. I'd like to up my videos and my YouTube channel to really get some more professionally done videos up there. So that's definitely a goal. And I'm hoping to pick up some new instruments, maybe a mandolin and maybe a lap steel. That would be a lot of fun. I love hearing lap steel and pedal steel in songs, so that would just be like badass to incorporate into my music making. As I continue to up my production skills, I just upgraded to Logic, got some fancy plugins, and I'm starting to work on mixing all this stuff myself and really getting the sound engineering a little bit more professional in my home studio.
What's inspired you to do music?
Sorry, instrument change. So what inspires me to make music? I really write songs to help me process the world around me, to process what I'm going through. And it really is a way of me getting in touch with my humanity and trying to understand it. And trying to understand other people too, because I think a lot of my anxiety, a lot of the emotions that I process have to do with how I interact with other people. And so it's a way for me to kind of get out of my head for a second and process what it is that might be bothering me. Be it social anxiety, mental health, self-doubt, antagonistic interactions with others. And it really has helped me. My songs stick with me as little messages to myself to take a little perspective when I'm thinking about how what somebody said to me could be seen in a different light, for example. So I hope that helps others, and I hope that that other people find meaning in those messages, and it doesn't have to be the meaning that I intended. I really enjoy that process of writing a song, and I enjoy listening to other people's music as well. I feel like listening to somebody else's song and really kind of getting into what they're trying to say is like taking a walk in their shoes, like testing out their mind, like getting into their mind a little bit. And I love doing that with other artists.
Where can people find your music?
So where can people find my music? Well, I would recommend going to my Linktree. It's linktr.ee/orangeg. You'll find links to my music at all the streaming sites, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon, iTunes, etc. But what's really important is that on my Linktree you'll find my website, which has links to interviews, reviews, information about me, bio, all of that kind of stuff. My merch store, which is really cool. And then finally, and most importantly, my Linktree has a link to my Bandcamp page. And my Bandcamp page in and of itself is pretty easy to find. It's orangeg.bandcamp.com. And what's wonderful about Bandcamp is that 85% of the proceeds go directly to artists. And so it's amazing for supporting artists. So I would just say, if you like music, go to Bandcamp and buy somebody's track. Because it is so helpful and so meaningful. You could be the first person to purchase a track from somebody. If you go down one of those Bandcamp rabbit holes, you don't know how meaningful it is to be screaming into the ether, to be making music, and out of the blue have somebody buy your track for the very first time, that person will never forget the moment that they got the notification that you bought their track. So definitely do that. If you do, let me know, and I'll send you a free download. So, just to help promote that, because I think that's just a beautiful thing.
Okay, dream gig. What 2 artists or bands, dead or alive, would you perform with? And where would that gig be?
It's a dream gig, huh? That's a tough one. I could just say, like, okay, my favorite band is Bright Eyes. Yeah. If I'm gonna ask for something, if I'm gonna ask for a dream gig, I want to trade in that big dream, one big dream, for lots of little dreams. And those lots of little dreams would be to travel the world and meet my friends that I've met on music Twitter and do little gigs. So I would love to go to Cleveland, do a gig with The Jobs and Daniil Fletcher, who has done some of the art for some of my tracks. And he's a talented musician as well. Go over to Philly, see Godzilla, see some of my friends that I've met in New York, Liz Victory, who hosts my open mic, and Jason Trachtenberg. I would love to go over to Australia and see and play with Lee Thomas and Byron Smith, and of course Europe, where I've made so many friends on Twitter in the music community, including Nunny and Voldo and John Mihi and the Post-Industrial Poets over in Luxembourg, and Annika Jane in Germany, and Exorcism in the Netherlands. Like, that would just be badass to travel and meet all these fine people that I've met on Twitter, and do some gigs with them. Like, that would be a beautiful dream.
Thanks for the interview. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
There are probably like a million people that I would like to name. So first off, I'd like to give one giant collective group hug shout out to my music Twitter community. I love interacting with you all every day, sharing jokes, hearing your antics, listening to your music. Big shout out to my friends on my Twitter family. I want to shout out the people that have really encouraged me at critical times in my musical journey. So Liz Victory is one. She runs the open mic that I attend, hambonesopenmic.com. And Liz Victory's on Twitter. And, she really helped me, encourage me to get my music out there. I'd like to shout out the folks that did the art on some of my tracks. So Daniil Fletcher, or Lost Grey Fog on Twitter, and Terry Krebel, or Kill Yo MF himself on Twitter, Instagram, etc. Both really talented musicians and illustrators in their own right. Daniil did just this beautiful artwork for my song "Look Both Ways" that I put on a T-shirt, so that that merch is out there. I'd like to shout out all my dear friends that I meet every week at the Hambone's open mic. There's too many of them to name, but I live tweet with The Real Michael Lee, and he's just a wonderful dude. I just love The Real Michael Lee's geeky music and his take on the world. Wes Mason is our photographer, and he makes sure that we sound good at open mic, and he's there every week, and just gives so much to the community. Friends like Jimmy Yamagishi and Nalini Lazowicz out in Los Angeles, Jeff Soul, The Jobs, Kyla Tilley, Kelly Fleming, Lee Thomas, Nick Graybeal, and I think that's it. Yeah. So much love to you all, and sorry for anybody that I didn't mention. Oh, final thought is those collaborators. I've collaborated with a ton of folks, and it's just been a blast recording songs with them. So Godzilla Attacks Tokyo Blues Band, Exorcism, Kelly Kittner, and all of the collaborations that have been recorded that are forthcoming in 2021 as well. I'm really excited about those too.